Shares of Apple finishing higher today after hosting its Unleashed launch event earlier this afternoon. The tech giant unveiling new MacBook Pro laptops featuring its M1 Pro and M1 Max chips. The company also announcing new third-generation AirPods with up to 6 hours of battery life and wireless charging. Let's bring in Dan Ives, Managing Director of Equity Research at Wedbush Securities, and Lauren Goode, Senior Writer at Wired. Lauren, anything to move the needle here on growth and sales?
Today was all about the Mac. I've been saying it's the return of the Mac. Do I think that this is necessarily going to move the needle for Mac sales overall? It's hard to say because this new MacBook Pro is really, the two of them are really at the very high end of the market. They're very much targeted at creative professionals who have very specific needs. And so I don't think this is a huge volume play, but I do think that symbolically and technologically, this is a pretty significant update to the Mac.
Dan, we know how much you love Apple. What were your thoughts coming out of the event today?
Well, I think Lauren put it great, and I think ultimately they're beating chip companies their own game. I mean, if you look at what they're coming out with on M1 Pro and Max, I view it as almost a game changer in terms of the hardware platform, what we're seeing from Max all the way across the board. Then you look at AirPods. I think we could be looking at 100 million units next year. That could be called 6% of revenues. Put it together. I mean, this company now is introducing products in the midst of the supply chain shortages. I think it just shows, it's almost a statement showing Apple continuing to really have confidence getting these products to customers. I continue to view it as the biggest product cycle in Cupertino in a decade.
Dan, do consumers really grasp this new processor in the MacBook Pro, or is it just something we talk about here and in your analyst notes?
Yeah, well, I think we believe you're going to see about a 30% upgrade on Mac Pros over the next year. And I think it's something where when you look at the chips and some of the hardware innovations that they have under the hood on these products, I think it started off maybe technologists looking at it, but more and more it's consumers. And we think this is going to really translate into an unprecedented upgrade cycle for Mac Pro. And as Lauren talked about, it just speaks to Apple owning more of its ecosystem. In my opinion, there's a company that continues to be a $3 trillion market cap next 6 to 9 months.